welcome back to our little permaculture small holding here in Donegal. I apologise for my dishevelled appearance. I have been wrestling with some gorse bushes but it is a much nicer evening today, so I thought we would take advantage of this sunny time and have a little peep at what has been waking up in the garden and see what we've been up to on the small holding. So join me and let's have a little look. They are just beginning to open and it's such an exciting time of year. It really means that spring proper is just around the corner. These really beautiful daffodils, they're so pale, they're called Thalia or Thalia if you're so inclined to say it that way, but they've been really putting on a really lovely show, and actually the sort of pale colour of the daffodils against the emerging bluebells is really lovely. These little Erithronium are so gorgeous as well. They are, I think Pagoda is the variety that these are, and I just love these little petals that curl back on themselves. These currant bushes are a new addition. I took a bunch of cuttings from the parent plants are down in County Limerick at the Organic College where I was studying. I grew them on and my husband did an amazing job planting them all out. So really extending the edible element of what's in the garden. From this little sit spot, let's take a wander down through our little southern woodland corner. Just down here are the first shoots of Lily of the Valley. Those will be fun. It's always such a gorgeous view from this corner. Here I extended this bed to incorporate this Guelder Rose, and we've also got some more currants that are in here. Coming around, there are already the beginnings of some flowers on this Aronia. This is one of our older Aronia bushes that we've got here on the small holding. Speaking of flowers, this Amelanchier has just put on the most gorgeous display. Its sister tree is just over here. And also there are the beginnings of some flowers on the little buds here on the Tayberry. We're really delighted to see so many blossoms on these wild cherries. It shows that they're really settling in and maturing. These hellebores are really still doing an amazing job of flowering. Beside them we've got some primroses, and just waking up are the little geum. I've been working on weaving some more willow into this little willow arch, which is the entrance into our vegetable garden. A work in progress. But just next to it there's this rose arbor. Despite not really knowing what I'm doing with a rose, these two have done a really good job and they're settling in. So I'm just training them along these wires below we have raspberries that grow along here, but they were absolutely covered in roses last year, so I'm hoping for more of the same this year. This apple, which is a heritage variety that we got from the Irish Seed Savers, it's just absolutely covered in blossom to the very top. I do believe it might be too tall for me, but I do believe we've got an open flower up there. I think last year we got maybe just 2 or 3 apples here because they all got frosted. There was a late frost around this time last year, so fingers crossed we don't get another one. But just down here, yesterday morning I found this beautiful little blue egg that it looks like, now it's still got yolk inside, but it's such a beautiful color, and it looks actually like what has happened is another bird has stolen it, and you can almost see it's the outline of a beak. I think that's what's happened, is maybe another bigger predatory bird stole the egg from the nest and ate the contents. Nature can be a bit harsh sometimes, can't it? But I love the color of the blue. It's so nice and so delicate and so tiny. It really is amazing, year after year, just how much changes when you get to pay attention and watch the seasons change and watch the things that you've planted growing, spreading. Things are really settling, and it really is taking shape. It's lovely when you see things progress and the hard work that you've put in, the love and care and attention begins to repay. Here's another of our little currant friends that we grew on and have planted out. That's the chickens. Hello, ladies. Pretty excited that that artichoke has settled and has lasted the winter. And then up here, this was really a new bed that last year I developed. It's really looking proper. I made some plant divisions of Persicaria and other things in this bed that are just starting to emerge. You can see, here they come. Hugelmounds watching us as always. I will also, we also hear these gorse bushes, these wonderful nitrogen fixing native shrubs, we pruned the branches off the bottom because, as you can see, these trees that we've planted below them are now starting to get up high enough that they're going to want to be reaching for the sky and to get more light. So we've opened that up, and you can now see all the way through to the bluebells that are coming through. It's lovely because you get little glimpses across the garden. Some more currants here and here. That's a compost pile that we've opened up and have been using. There's lots of little things waking up. We've got comfrey over here, some evening primrose, mugwort. What else have we got along here? That's a lemon balm. We've got more plantain. I think this is a Chokeberry. And this is an Elaeagnus. Got a light flowered fuchsia. Oh, I'm not sure if I've collected the eggs today. Let me have a look. Oh, just one. Maybe I did. Since my last video, I did a little bit of extra work in the polytunnel. Let's have a little peep. I put in these supports that go, ooh, it's nice and warm in here. They're held, pegged down into the ground here, but they go from the door frame up to the crop bars here. And we have a grate that's down in here that eventually can grow up over this and tumble across. But also in the meantime, I've just set some things on top. But I made these little stone beds, stone edged beds that I can grow runner beans. So my plan is that I will put some slats across here and I can train the runner beans up through those. We have some tomatoes that have been planted out. They're in pots this year because this metal bed was full of tomatoes last year. This year it will be a three sisters, so squash, corn and beans. But we've got some more tomatoes. I've really squished these in. It's actually, in terms of spacing, I'm really pushing it in terms of how many I can fit in here, but needs must. At the end here, I have made another one of these supports going back to, from the crop bars here, going back to the door frame, because this is where our solar shower is. If you've never showered in your polytunnel with your plants, I highly recommend it. In an earlier video, I think it was maybe in February, back in February, I gave you a little peek of a new area that we are establishing a garden. So let's go and have a little peek down there and I'll show you where we're up to. This double daffodil just opened today, this morning. This was completely closed up, but it really did. It's one of the last daffodils in the garden, so it really did wait. Let's keep going. If you come through this way that we kind of call the corridor, we've got some purple sprouting broccoli that I need to harvest. We've got some Chokeberries, some raspberries, some this is 9-star perennial broccoli. Over here we've got an elderberry, some apples, some more raspberries, another Aronia. Ooh, we've got some more blossoms on the wild cherry over here. This is another apple tree, and really part of the wrestling in the gorse I've been doing today is really just opening up some little spots in this gorse where there are some trees that are going to be reaching up for the sky. Here's another new currant that is absolutely loaded with flowers. We should get some good berries there. We have another Aronia, another apple, some hazel. This is a little box of oak trees that we've grown from seed. This is an air prune bed, so really I think we were thinking actually these were going to get planted out this year, but this might be just their final year in this box, and then they will find their forever homes. The new garden is just on the other side of this gorse, but we're going to take the little woodland route where you come through the gorse bush, Nina's really helpfully just left a tennis ball here in case we needed to throw it for her. There's some lovely bluebells all the way through here. Some more gorgeous bluebells and a nice fern that is just waking up. If we continue on out through this gorse forest, we come out past some lovely trees that are doing some great growing. This is the area that is our new garden. Ta-da! I've posted a little bit about it over on Instagram, but last year as a lockdown project we made this bed and grew potatoes in there. Those potatoes have come out, and now in the autumn time we put in this garlic, which we need to finish mulching. But here is the new bed that we've been working on. This is a no-dig bed, so essentially there were some, this is the remains of them, some gorse bushes that we took out, and I sort of had sketched out this area roughly. I can't remember the dimensions of it, but it's maybe 25 feet by about 12 feet. I don't know what that is in meters. But we made this as a no-dig bed, so we heaped bunches and bunches of cardboard on the area, and then on top of that I put loads of seaweed. Now what's really interesting here is you can see on this side is seaweed that we got from one location, and on this side is seaweed from another. So it just shows you the different species of, the different varieties of seaweed that is available around. This has also been planted with potatoes. So anytime you are establishing a new bed, potatoes are your best bet because they do such a good job of breaking up the soil. We're just on the southern side of the bed now, and you can see it has a slight curve to it heading around that way. And eventually what we'll do is, I think these will be ridges and they'll be on contour. We have a slight slope coming this way, so to really make sure our soil stays in place. But on the edges I haven't, my husband planted these currant bushes. So these are red currants on this side. There's a little, just up beside Nina there is a little birch tree who lives there, and on this side we have a little blackcurrant hedge. So how we have planted these potatoes is really just with a trowel or a hory. We cut down through the cardboard, made sure the cardboard was nice and wet, which it was because it was so rainy when we put the seaweed down. But we made a hole, put our seed potato in. Well, no, we made a hole, put a little bit of compost in, put our seed potato in, and then topped it off with compost on top. And so eventually, I would say in the next 2 weeks or so, we will get the first little sprouts of potatoes coming up. And next year we have 1, 2, 3 more beds that will become sort of guild perennial beds, and then this and this will be more annual production space. But that's where we're up to. Have you got any suggestions about ways that you would do this differently, or what would you like to see us grow next? This garlic is looking well. I think that's where I'll leave it for now. My car has been in the garage, so I've got to go pick it up. But for now, I will sign off and hope to see you again soon.